I am too in the tub. Honey has had a long day, and she deserves a bubble bath. I tried to get bubbles. I can't get bubbles. Woo.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get a look at you. Okay. You look like you just came from like a book signing.
A book signing?
You do. You look like you were on C-SPAN today and just had a book signing. Can you see my eyes at all, or are they two big shadows? There they are.
I can see them when you do those crazy eyes. I can see them.
I will just have to give crazy eyes for the whole episode.
They are pretty lash-tastic.
I am. I'm wearing 301 bottom lashes today. So I'm kind of giving you Bianca eyes, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. A little touch of Trixie there with the low glue.
Funny, I was listening to Trixie on the Feast of Fun podcast while I was getting ready.
Oh, I thought there was going to be more than that.
No, there was not more than that. I am trying. It's funny, when I was Ben in the tub, I was all like, woo, let it all hang out. And now that I am Honey, I feel very demure because I don't have a big cacophony of bubbles surrounding me like I imagined it would be. So I'm doing everything.
Well, I am surprised that you're in the tub.
Honestly, I just didn't have anything to wear. So I thought this would be
what were you wearing? You weren't in a gown or anything?
Well, I had already de-dragged, so I was basically, there's a really weird thing that happens when you get out of drag, like, so you can go pee, so you've taken everything off, and you're, like, standing there, and, like, in my bathroom, there's a mirror, like, right across from me as I'm peeing, so here I am, like, in drag from
me too! Me too! When I sit on the toilet, I get to look at my whole body, head to toe.
It's nice, isn't it? That's when you really learn how to pose. That's when you really learn. Regally sitting upon her throne. So yeah, I was at a launch party tonight for my friend Rebecca and Rashana. They launched this like all-female film production company called Real Mavens, REEL Mavens. So I was there for a little bit. Then I came home and I always have the thought, I'm like, I'm in drag, I should do something as long as I'm still in face. And then I'm like, well, why don't we just see if we can record our RuCap? And yay, we're both available.
Yeah, I didn't plan this C-SPAN look.
No, I got you. I thought maybe you ran to your wardrobe and picked that out right away so that you could
no.
Look like.
I mean, I never think like that. I'm terrible. So this is episode 11.
What size would you say that gulp is?
It's 32 ounces.
Would you say it's big?
I'd say it's big.
Is it big?
Not the biggest. They make bigger. They make bigger.
I'll say that. It is big for a gulp.
They make bigger. It's not that big.
This is my water.
Well, I'm glad we're both polluting the environment with our plastic cups.
Our plastic cups, because we are environmental tiddyists.
No, we're bad.
I really wish I had some light on my eyes so I could showcase my eye makeup.
Dude, you didn't set up a spotlight?
I didn't think. Here's the thing. This is one of those spots. This is one of those looks I didn't get to set up until I was in the tub. So it's kind of like there's not much I can do right now.
I just want all of you viewers to know that this was Honey's idea.
That block me?
This was Honey's idea to record right now.
I'm blocked by our piece of paper. So I'm actually going to set up a light really quick.
Seriously, you guys, this was Honey's idea. This was all Honey's idea, was to set this up and record right now. You know, one would imagine in a world that if someone is like, hey, let's do blank.
Trailers right now? Are you doing a film trailer? In a world.
Hey, let's do blah, blah, blah. You would think that somewhere in their reality, they would be ready for it.
I'm just going to say you're
not.
really
Just know that. Just know that.
Of the in front of the camera right now, because you don't want to see what you would have just saw.
No, ma'am. I know I don't. All right. Well, before we talk about the episode, you're still listening, right? Or are you completely gone? You and your penis have left the building.
What was that last part?
I'm saying, are you still there?
I just got back. I've just returned from the hardware
Okay,
store.
so I'll just talk anyway. Before
Like you
we should
always
talk about. Oh yeah, I'm the one that won't stop talking. That's for sure. What I was gonna say, I should probably say this before we get into the episode. Okay, so I have a. I'm so glad you're back.
Difference? Who's a pretty girl?
There's a difference, but you're still doing crazy eyes, so it's hard for me to tell. So I have a beef with Trixie Mattel. I want you to text her and tell her she can kiss my ass because that bitch, that fucking bitch, I'm so mad at her.
Why? Why are you
that
mad
bitch,
at Trixie?
She fucking posted a spoiler. She posted who got eliminated on East Coast time before the show aired over here on the West Coast.
Why did she do that? For which episode?
Like I can't even be like I can't even be mad. Like, oh well, I shouldn't have been on social media if I wasn't watching. It's like, bitch, it's not even 8 o'clock here yet.
Did she say anything after, like acknowledging that she ruined it for everyone?
No, everybody was. I mean, a lot of people. I saw a lot of people having the same reaction as me, which was like, oh my god, the show isn't even over here. We're not even halfway through the episode. Why are you posting this? So anyway, whatever.
On her part.
What?
Maybe it was just a prediction on her part.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, she was. Anyway, whatever. It really pissed me off. So I knew who got eliminated watching the entire episode, which sucked.
So were you still kind of hopeful for Katya during the lip sync?
No, I wasn't. I mean, of course I knew what happened. I was just so pissed. So it sucked. It really affected my enjoyment of the episode. I'm not going to lie. I mean, look, a lot of times I hear who goes home before I see the episode, but this was just particularly irritating because it's towards the end. And like, I don't know. So I don't know. So my whole viewing of the episode was peppered by the fact that I knew who was going home. So that sucked.
Oh, okay, she's back.
So anyway, puppets. Puppets has been a tradition since season 4.
Yeah.
And I love it myself. I love the puppet mini challenge.
I thought it was cute. It was one of those mini challenges where it's like, I can't really tell who's doing a better job. Like, it's kind of hard.
No, nobody did a good job. It was disappointing. That's the thing. If you look at previous puppet challenges, they were much better. This was a very disappointing puppet challenge. I almost didn't like what anybody did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought they all kind of didn't do great.
I'm changing my camera angle a little bit. There you can get a good look at my makeup. I was hanging out with Bob and Keisha Carr the other night after Bob's Tuesday night gig. And they were just talking about how this season of Drag, when she's wet, her arm hair is darker. So there's that. They're both just saying how, like, in general, everyone seems to feel this is kind of like a disappointing season of Drag Race.
Well, I know people felt that way even last year. I think that the shine is coming off the apple a little bit with Drag Race in some senses. Mm-hmm. And in other senses, I feel that the competition has reached a point where it's very hard to pick who's good and who's bad because it's not like there's a bunch of crappy people on the show.
Yeah.
So it's like
at the end, as I'm like rooting for Katya at this point, obviously, you have to keep in mind that like everyone that is in that top 5 is in some regard the best of the best. So like at a certain point, like but still, like I think the question at this point, Keisha and Bob were both unanimous that Pearl should have gone home a long time ago. And I'm very subjective with my opinions. So if I'm like, I love Pearl, and someone else is like, she's actually not a good drag queen, I'll be like, oh, well, she's not that good. Like I do tend to like absorb other people's opinions, but
well, it's interesting how Pearl has won my heart because I actually think that other queens that have gone home this season are probably better than she is. Yeah. On more like in more of a like well-rounded, multiple levels kind of way, performance kind of a way. I don't know. She's not like a great, super outstanding, well-rounded queen. But for some reason, what?
Does she know how to sew? I can't remember.
She does. She's capable of sewing. She's more about creating.
Just a really quick favor.
I'm waiting.
Can you never let me end up on Drag Race not knowing how to sew? Would you just do that for me?
Well, all right, I guess. I think that a lot of queens that don't know how to sew do great on Drag Race, so I don't know why. If you can pull a look together.
If I was gonna go on that show, I would want to make sure that I first like really put in the time to like really learn my craft.
Well, I think it's smart to have sewing skills, but it also doesn't save you. I mean, there's plenty of queens that could sew and make great outfits who went home early or everybody hated their outfits. I mean, I don't know that it's like
name one queen who knows how to sew and went home early in this season.
Tempest du jour.
I'm kidding.
Oh, I thought you were serious. But no, so the thing is like, I do think it's smart to be able to like operate a sewing machine. But look, I also sort of don't understand that people can't basically sew because I can. And so I feel like, I don't know, like honestly, if I was on RuPaul's Drag Race, I'd be able to muck something together, even though I'm pretty out of practice and I wouldn't be able to like kill it. I'd be able to muck something together. You know, and I think that, you know,
it's pretty smart to be able to know how to work an iron lung machine, but that's also not going to get you through Drag Race.
Right. I don't know. It's not like a,
you know, on Drag Race knowing how to work an iron lung. I'm like, here I am, and my iron lung, it's bedazzled.
Do they still make iron lungs? Anyway, so yeah, look, it's interesting because I could agree with someone that Pearl isn't as strong as people who've gone home, but nonetheless, Pearl is the one that I really like right now, and she's sort of underdog-ish, which is maybe why I like her. But I still think she's doing great, and I do think she is shining, and I like her. I like her a lot.
How was it seeing your boy Santino Rice again?
Oh my God, it was a dream. Okay, so Ginger and I have the exact same taste in men. That's just completely been established because every time she's used that, me and Ginger, because every time Ginger uses that flood my basement line, I'm like, my basement is flooded, girl.
Oh God, I was gonna ask you what flood my basement means, and now I'm gonna be sick.
Oh, you just should be embarrassed that you couldn't figure that out. But oh my gosh, no, I mean, but she also was that choreographer who did Bianca and Adore and Courtney's choreography and then did the Glamazonian Airways choreography. Ginger said the same thing about him. She was like, I look at him and I flood my basement. I mean, that is like the hottest guy on Drag Race, that choreographer for me. So like, I'm down, Ginger. We like the same dudes. Also, I thought Ginger's husband was super cute too. I mean, though you didn't get a good look at him.
Now that I know that Santino is straight, it's just like, it just makes me wonder like if he's ever sucked a dick.
Well, no, he has, I guess. Allegedly, he is bisexual.
Oh, okay. I get that. I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's not known for not being with women. I mean, he's with women, but I guess he likes dudes too.
Okay. It
doesn't mean that. Yeah, I was thrilled to have my Santino back on the show. It felt complete.
I'm sure his pay was considerably less.
Yeah, well, it was just a guest, but also I love that he did a little Tim Gunning. I thought that was adorable.
Oh, and so work?
Well, but he was also doing like what Tim Gunn does on Project Runway. He was like doing the same thing. He was like walking around and seeing their projects and commenting. I loved it.
Full circular.
Yeah. So the challenge is So the challenge was cute. I thought I liked it. The thing is, I felt like a lot of them didn't understand Hello Kitty. I don't want to be like a super know-it-all about Hello Kitty. But Hello Kitty is not a cat. Do you know that?
No, really?
Hello Kitty is not a cat. Hello Kitty is a girl.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to blow everybody's minds here, but so the fact that, for me, some of them weren't, I guess really Ginger's the only one that wasn't. The rest were all girls, but Ginger was like a cow for her character. That's wrong. Hello Kitty isn't an animal. She's not going to hang out with a cow.
Well, then why does Hello Kitty look like a cat?
Because she's Japanese.
That makes perfect sense. I have no further questions.
Like, Hello Kitty doesn't make sense, but it is what it is.
She doesn't make sense because she's Japanese. That's why she doesn't make sense.
Because it's from Japan.
Have you ever tried talking to a Japanese person?
We got lost in translation. We just like the pink. I mean, that's it.
Okay. That's really strange. And they were calling her Hello Kitty, but okay, all right.
Well, she is Hello Kitty. That's her name. Yeah, but she's not a cat. Anyway, whatever.
But like most of the queens were all making like cat gestures and stuff like that.
I know. Even Michelle was doing it, and I was like, Michelle, do you know anything about Hello Kitty?
Yeah.
I know it is kind of unknown in the U.S. to know that about Hello Kitty, so maybe my standards are being too high, but whatever.
Is that something you learned being a nanny, or how do you know that?
I guess I maybe learned it from being a nanny, but my girls aren't super into Hello Kitty. I
knowledge of cartoon TV theme songs.
I do. I read an article about Hello Kitty. That's how I found out about it.
So she's a literary figure as well.
She didn't write the article. Like somebody on Jezebel wrote it. I don't know.
Again, no further questions. So, no, I was not living for the Hello Kitty theme, and I'm just thinking, like, how much did they pay RuPaul's Drag Race to be like, A, we want the product placement, B, we feel strongly that this is our market. The logo watching, Drag Race watching community is our target market for Hello Kitty. Who decided that?
Well, it's an interesting choice because, well, what's interesting about it is for the queen, from the challenge perspective for the queens, it is such a huge brand, and that is an interesting challenge to try to fit into the brand. So I don't know. I kind of liked the challenge in that aspect of it. I'm not like a big Hello Kitty person, but I did really like sort of the idea that this is like humongous, iconic brand, and you have to try to fit yourself into it. That is a good challenge, I think.
So let's talk about like who did their looks for the Hello Kitty BFF.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of like, I was really anticipating seeing what Violet was going to do because she really acted like, oh my God, I've got this. She was really underwhelming, which is saying something for Violet.
Well, it's interesting. I actually think Violet's BFF look was the best as far as the brand goes. Yeah, as far as the brand goes. As far as the brand goes, yeah.
Okay.
So we're not talking Eleganza, we're talking BFF, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. BFF, I did think that Violet's was the most on point for Hello Kitty. It wasn't my favorite, like, sort of personally that I enjoyed, but I felt like she hit the mark. I felt like they all missed the mark. That's the truth. I felt like they all flopped on the BFF and totally missed it and weren't getting Hello Kitty right at all. But Violet was the closest to me because it felt like it could be another doll, another character in a Hello Kitty story, like this vain sort of version of Hello Kitty with like the big eyelashes. And she was acting like a girl and had like this girly personality, and I thought that was correct, and I thought it fit.
Kitty's not a cat.
Dude, I mean, I thought that Katya's was hilarious. I thought that Pearl's was completely hilarious.
I thought Pearl, even more than Katya, Pearl was my favorite. I mean, Pearl was also really acting through her costume.
Yes, I agree.
The vocals that she recorded, everything on it, I thought was really on point.
Yeah, I liked both Pearl and Katya. They both really made me laugh. And then Ginger's, I also quite liked, but it was wrong to me because she was like really being a cow, and that was really wrong for me for the brand. But that's
how offended I was by her line about like, I dream of one day becoming a handbag or a filet mignon.
Yeah, that was super dark.
Like, and I get that most people aren't even like, they're not even thinking about that. Like they hear that and they're like, oh, haha, that's a natural pun to make about a cow. But it's like, I would have loved to see Michelle's expression there.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish Michelle would speak up more now and then. What are you going to do? Or even Santino. I mean, he never does either. But you know, it's I don't know. It's you know, whatever our culture accepts those kinds of jokes. You know, if that like level of a joke was made about like children or something, or like women or something, it would be considered outrageous.
Exactly. Can we not to overlook Kennedy and her?
Oh, and her huge failure.
What's that?
And her huge failure, although she had a nice ass.
I was gonna say, if you removed the head and like just went with body, she was serving exactly the kind of body I always want to be serving as Honey of the Bronx. That is exactly.
Oh, really? You want that
how
kind
I
of
want
body?
my silhouette to look. Yes.
All right, now we gotta rob a couch.
Yeah. But when I'm finished with this couch, I have plans for it. So as for the runway, I also thought I was gonna love Violet's look a little more. I wish she didn't have to hold the headpiece up with her hands. That kind of took away from me.
No, that was the whole problem, because from neck down, she was perfection, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I thought her silhouette was gorgeous. I thought the outfit was gorgeous. She looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that she had to hold the headpiece up, and that took away for me. It distracted, but whatever.
For Ginger, I guess I thought that she played it really safe with her look. I did like that she made a boa out of doll heads, but still.
Yeah, I thought that was cute.
I thought that was cute, but still, like, her overall look seemed really safe for me.
Yeah, it was a simple dress. You know, she did a lot of detail things that accentuated it, that helped her makeup, her hair. She had little Hello Kitty bow earrings. I mean, she had details that I thought elevated it, but overall the dress was very simple. But I agree with you. I was really charmed by the boa, especially because it wasn't on the dress or part of the dress, but it was part of the look. So I liked it. I liked what she did. I mean, it was simple, but I liked it.
What the fuck was Pearl wearing?
Oh my God, I loved Pearl's dress. Like, I wish I had it.
You did not love Pearl's dress. No one.
I did love it. It was a fucking blanket. It was a belted blanket.
Blanket burrito.
Yeah, with like a little ruffle on the bottom. Are you kidding? I would sleep in that. I loved it.
It was, well, exactly. It looks like something you would sleep in. I don't just put.
I don't know. She made it look Runway, though. I'm sorry, with that cat on her head and the whole thing.
I don't just take a sleeping bag, cut out holes for arms and a neck, and then put a belt around it and call it a dress. Although, you know what? That is not a bad idea.
There was detail on the bottom. She didn't do nothing.
The detail. It was a blanket wrapped around. I mean, like from Adam's apple to ankle, it was just a blanket wrapped around her.
I know, but I liked it. I really did.
Well, then okay.
Look,
then
I get the complaints, but I liked it. And I thought it pulled off well on the runway. I mean, she made it dramatic by putting like the whole Hello Kitty thing on her head, but from a distance, it was a cool look, like the whole Hello Kitty, and she looked great. I don't know, whatever. Look, I get that that's her eleganza. That's what she came up with. It's irritating. She belted a blanket, but I thought she looked good. She pulled it off.
I would like to think she was just the slowest one, and then the blanket is all she got.
I think that more work went into that than we can see. The way the pattern landed on her, that's not luck. She didn't just throw the blanket on. You know what I mean? She had to drape that. And then she did sew it. There's details to the dress. And anyway, whatever.
Making sure that pattern landed on her body, you're talking about maybe 3 to 5 minutes of extra work before she started cutting it.
All right, didn't you just mention that you don't know how to sew?
I do know how to sew, I just said don't let me end up on the show not knowing how to sew.
Well, I think it's important to remember that if you do obviously toss your hat in the ring and you want to go for it, that absolutely you have no control over anything that happens. You have no idea how it will go for you, how long you will last, you can't think about any of that stuff. If you're going to go, you're just going to go and have an experience, and that's that.
I would just want to be on the show with more confidence in my drag than I currently have.
Oh, no, that's fair and very vital, I think. Totally vital.
So
anyway, all right.
Katya, I have my notes typed up here, but I think I did them on my phone, so the autocorrect got me. I said, Katya, Pole's great. I think I meant to say she looks great. I thought Katya looked great. I didn't think it met the challenge at all, but I thought she looked fantastic.
Well, I liked it. I don't know if I would call it eleganza, but I liked
Right.
I liked what she did, and I was totally there with Rebecca Romaine, no longer Stamos. I was with her totally. I was like, you are futuristic housewife, mom, lives on the moon, obsessed with Hello Kitty. I was like, I'm with her. That's what I've got. That's what I'm seeing, and it's working for me.
Yeah, I liked it. I was wondering how the judges would like it. Apparently, they did not like it so much. Next page of notes.
Well, it did seem a little disconnected, a little discombobulated. And look, the bottom line is for me, it wasn't eleganza. I mean, if you look at the, it just wasn't.
I have a saying: if you can say you're discombobulated, you are not.
Oh, thanks.
So Kennedy. My notes
well, I was glad that
Kennedy are gross. What was that?
Well, I'm glad my boy Santino was there to read her.
If you're going to go on Drag Race and people are going to give you feedback, stop arguing and stop saying, well, this is just me. I'm just doing me. This is just me.
Yeah, she's a little defensive with the she's a little defensive with the criticism. It's not good.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember this. Well, I'm sure we both remember this moment. Did the judges clap for murdering a fly?
Oh, yeah.
That was really not cool.
Like everybody did. Everybody was like, yay, the fly's dead. Like we couldn't just shoo it. Like we had to kill it.
Like we couldn't have just like waved the thing away and waited for it to get out of here. Do we not all know about the Bugzooka?
Oh yeah, the Bugzooka's awesome.
I don't have one yet, but I want to order one, especially so that if anything ever flies into my apartment, I don't have to like kill a fly or kill a mosquito. Secondly, I don't want to kill a bee. Like even if I wanted it dead, like I would be terrified trying to kill a bee. It would be so much easier to have like a device that's like 5 feet long and I can just spit it back out the window.
Yeah, I think the truth is that most people don't know about that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now you do.
Anyway, let's carry on. Kennedy wore a leotard.
What?
Let's carry on. Kennedy glued bows on a leotard.
Yeah, and but you know what? I really feel. Wait. Oh, I'm looking at my notes here. So they were reading Katya for her outfit. And I really feel that what would have saved Katya's look is if she had explained that she did not die, but she crystallized, and then she had raised from her ashes.
She rose like a phoenix?
Like a phoenix. After
Who was it that did that? Who did that? Was that Pearl?
Kennedy,
yeah, with the puppets. That was like my favorite puppet thing, was making fun of that look. This is after a night of hooking.
Yeah, I had predicted that the bottom two would be Katya and Kennedy for this episode. Yeah, Kennedy, it was just like, I get that she's like, look, I'm a dancing queen, so I need to be able to dance, but it's like, I don't know, that'll be like if Honey LeBron said, like, I'm a comfort queen, so I need to never have to tuck, and I need to always have
I need to be able to eat mac and cheese if I'm hungry and not have to worry about it being uncomfortable.
Exactly. In fact, I don't want to have to wear lashes. I don't have to wear a wig because I might take a bath.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, look, Kennedy is overly defensive with the criticism. And I do get where she was coming from. She was trying to do a look that like she rocks. But it doesn't matter because it was totally like lame and not eleganza and it was boring. And I agree with Santino. It's like, really, you took all those bows off and that's what you did with them? Really? That's what you did with all those bows?
Terrible.
Really?
Terrible. Yeah. So, I mean, and ultimately, there's Katya up against Kennedy. I mean, there's nothing she could have done. But also, I feel like Kennedy really took the upper hand before Katya had a chance. And it's like everything that Kennedy did, like after she does that, what's Katya gonna do? It's like you can't try to one-up yourself because you're already being outdone. So I feel like
well, I don't know. For me, I felt like they were both totally amazing. I just felt like that lip sync. And the thing is, that song, if you're familiar with that song, that's edited down. I would give anything to see the whole lip sync. I would totally give anything.
What was
it's a Katy Perry song.
Oh, Roar. Yeah, what a dumb song to lip sync to.
Oh yeah, I don't like that song. But I do. I mean, really, it was just the lip sync was so good. I mean, there's probably 5 lip syncs I can count on my hand in the entire history of Drag Race where I felt the way that I felt watching their lip sync. It's like one of the best lip syncs that has ever happened on Drag Race. It's such a bummer that Katya had to go home. I mean, she was so good. And yeah, Kennedy burned the house down. What?
She was so good.
In the lip sync, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they edited out the better parts, but I don't really feel like she tried. But in the Untucked, though,
dude, I felt like they were both awesome. I loved it. I thought they were so good. I mean, look, Kennedy burned the house down. She burned it down. And I was fearful that that would happen. But I thought that Katya was so good. She was so good. It wasn't like the time when you watch a lip sync and you're like, oh, well, that bitch is going home. It was like, oh, they're both great. I want them both to stay. That's how I felt, even though I don't really want Kennedy to stay.
She did definitely burn the house down. You can't say she didn't. In fact, TLC is getting together again, and they've asked if she would be the 3rd member based on that.
I am not surprised. No, but really, for me, there's only been a couple lip syncs that I've seen in my very intense Drag Race watching experience that it's like, oh, they're both so awesome. And I really did feel that way. But I knew Katya was going home, and I'm attached to Katya. I like her very much. I really wanted her to make it to the top 3. And so, but I don't know. I was like, okay, so true story. So after I heard that I heard the spoiler, I'm like watching, I'm so upset and freaking out trying to watch the episode. I watched it in my parked car on my cell phone.
Oh, no
and I was like,
way.
I did. Like a good little junkie. And
so sad.
So then at the end, during the lip sync, I'm like,
mini donuts with powdered sugar on them involved. It sounds like that was.
Oh, I wish. So then it's like the lip sync, I'm like honking my horn and breaking the windows. I was loving it. It was so good.
So
I'd watch it again.
I would want for RuPaul to say, ladies, I made my decision. Laura Yaz, Shantae, you stay.
Also, I was crying. I was so sad. I knew Katya was gonna go home. And then I have to say, when I heard I think it was mostly Violet, but the other girls too were like screaming for them in the background.
Yeah.
That just really touches my heart. They were like all whooping.
That doesn't happen at a certain point in the season where like you get to a certain point that everyone's like generally like, no, seriously, love that bitch.
Yeah, but also they do it when it's amazing. I mean, they're when somebody really burns the house down, you hear them back there going crazy, like because they are living for the lip sync. You know, it's like, but there's so many times that they're not. You know, it's like, look, drag queens are fans of drag. They love drag. It's like comedians. We all want to watch comedy. We love comedy. It's like, you know, queens love drag, so they are really the best judges of who's killing the lip sync. So for them to be going crazy at the end of the lip sync, it was like, I don't know. It was very touching. I'm sad to see Katya go. I'm glad that I have this affinity for Pearl, because if I didn't, I feel like I wouldn't be invested at all this season.
I'm going to tell you something. This is the last time you're getting video of Honey in the Bronx in the bathtub, because it is.
Yeah, I hope so.
To set up a proper shot of it, and it's very. I am not. I might seem like I'm quite comfy. This is not comfortable at all.
I don't know why you're doing it. It doesn't look comfortable at all. It looks awful. I don't know why you're in the tub. You must have been desperate for a soak.
Why don't we stop and start over, and then I'll do it out of the tub.
No.
Okay.
Sorry about it. All right, so I'm really sad. Top 4 is Violet. I always want to say Violet Beauregard You know, I played Violet Beauregard when I was.
You're pretty Violet. I got a blueberry.
I played Violet. I played Violet when I was 11.
In what? They do a stage version of it?
Yeah, stage version, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, starring me as Violet Beauregard. Anyway, so the final four. This is it. Final four.
I just can't say that there's anyone I'm that excited about in the top four.
No, me neither. It's sad. It's a sad state of affairs. I quite like Pearl, and I'm going to root for her with my whole heart because I'm very taken with her. But, I mean, look, I would not like... It's interesting. My affection for Pearl is not like the way I felt about Bianca. It's not like the way I felt about Alaska. It's not like the way I felt about Latrice Royale. It's not the way I felt about... Should we go through every season and say who my favorite was?
No.
Anyway. You want to get out of town?
I want to get out of town.
It's not like that. It's like literally last year, if somebody tried to tell me Bianca wasn't the best queen on Drag Race, I would like shred them to bits. But like, I don't feel that way about Pearl. I get it if you don't dig her. I just like her. She's my girl and I'm rooting for her. But I don't know. Violet is really good too.
Thank you note from her.
I hope I do. I hope I do. Pearl. I feel like Pearl and I would get along. I would make her laugh.
I think you guys would get along. I think Pearl and I would sit across from each other just blinking and like we would have nothing to say to each other. But Katya,
yeah, she would think I was funny.
I could see myself hanging out with Katya.
Totally. I feel like I could like completely like do a show with Katya. Like I
like she's just fucking weird too.
She's fun. Yeah. I have a friend out here who went to see her live, said she's totally ADD. I would yeah, I feel like I don't know, I totally like Katya. But whatever. So it's what is it? It's Kennedy, Ginger, Violet, and Pearl. Who's your prediction for next week?
Who's going home?
One?
I say Violet. I feel like she's
really?
the one that they're just getting ready to let go. Because it's also going to come down to lip syncing for it, and I don't know that.
I feel like it's Pearl.
You think it's Pearl?
I worry about Pearl making it to the top three. I want her to.
Let's call our predictions for bottom two, going home, and winning. I say bottom two is going to be Pearl and Violet, and I say going home is going to be Violet, and I say winning it is going to be Ginger Minge.
I would put so much money on Ginger making it to the top three. And I would also, although I know this is not a liked prediction, I would put a ton of money on Kennedy making it to the top three. I said this. Let's go back. When did I say it? I told you people, Kennedy was going to be around. That Kennedy. Kennedy. She's trouble.
Trouble.
We'll see. I'm very interested to see who's going to be the top three. And then maybe we should have Melissa on and we do a three-way discussion about the top three, huh? That
would be great. I would love that.
Let's do it.
I would love a three-way hangout episode where we're each talking as we're doing our makeup.
Well, I won't be doing any makeup, but I could do my hair, I guess.
This took me 3 hours today.
Oh, you should see me when I first wake up in the morning. This new haircut's a whole adventure for me.
I do feel like people need to be able to see the makeup somewhat. There it is. I do have this like a river run through it crack through my forehead because if I don't wear bangs, you see. Also, my eyes look really pretty via like a MacBook cam, but like that little blue sparkle is not there, and somehow the camera adds that. Thank you, camera.
Your makeup does look nice. You look a little sweaty.
Yeah, I am a little sweaty.
But you are in the bathtub.
Yeah, it happens. I don't even know how I got here. I wish I had.
I bet you're dying to take that stuff off. I think we've said all we need to say. We can go.
Have I said too much?
No, I think we've said plenty. I just don't know what else we can say.
There's nothing more I can think of to say to you.
I'm so heartbroken, Katya. I love you. I cried for you.
But all you have to do is look at me to know that every word is true.
She's doing some song lyrics.
Don't cry for me, Katya. Argentina. The truth is,
I love you, Katya.
The truth is,
I love you.
I never liked you.
Spasiba.
Oh, did you say spasibo?
No, I said thank you in Russian.
I think it's spasibo. I'm pretty sure it's spasibo.
Anything's possible.